I have a story for you about why you should never give up and why there is hope for you at any age. So I literally just came back from my first ever cubing competition where it was completely about blind events. In case you're wondering, when I say blind events, I really mean blindfold events. So they give you a cube that's been completely scrambled and you have as long as you need to memorize it, put the blindfold on and solve it. And you might be thinking, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I can't even solve the cube like sighted. How do you solve it blindfolded? And that's exactly how I felt 3 years ago. When I first started learning the cube, I think I came across this video online where this guy was solving it, not just with a blindfold on, but one-handed. And I thought like, that is the pinnacle of amazing nerdy greatness. But fast forward a few years and here I am today breaking not one, but two, maybe even three personal records in one competition. Oh my goodness, I'm not sure if it totally sunk in yet. Like, I'm literally just transferring the footage now, if you can see. I haven't actually watched any of my solves yet, but I recorded them all using good old GoPro 9, shout out to you, and also my daughter's GoPro 8. Not sponsored by GoPro, but thank you to them. We are sponsored, however, by Daily Puzzles. Seriously though, they're pretty amazing, check them out. But yeah, some history with how I got here. So I was a child of the 80s and, sorry, too far back. Although it's sort of relevant. I'm not young when it comes to cubists. Most cubists are in their teens. I'm not a teenager and I haven't been for quite a while. And honestly, it's getting to a point where it's easy for me to say, I'm starting to get too old to learn new things. Especially hard things, like not just learning to solve a Rubik's Cube, but solving it blindfolded. I promise you I'm gonna show you and talk about the solve soon so you can see how crazy I went today. But if you're wondering how do you solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded, I've got a pack of cards because there's a pretty nice way to illustrate it using this. So say you needed to get these guys in order and they were all jumbled up. So the challenge is, say, I don't know, you've got 30 seconds to look at this and then you close your eyes and you have to pick them out one at a time, like in the right order. How will you do it? Well, that's pretty easy, you might say. You just remember like where ace is and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that order, and you close your eyes and you take the cards out in that order. Well, guess what? It's the exact same principle for the Rubik's Cube. You see every single piece you can think of as having displaced another piece. So this guy, for example, this red and blue piece needs to go over here, and then this guy needs to go here, and then this guy needs to go here. You end up creating a sequence. All you need to do now is assign some sort of like a letter or numbering system to the cube, let's say 26 letters of the alphabet. And if you remember, all right, the piece that was in a place F needs to go to E, and then needs to go to Z, and then needs to go to Y, and you convert that into a string of letters, and then you execute the right moves and you move it into place. And so to go back to the cards again, ace is in position number 5, so you might think 5, 1, 4, 2, 3, 6. Or to use letters, E, A, D, B, C, F. You might be wondering why letters instead of numbers, and it's because when you have like 20 things you need to remember, a string of 20 numbers is quite hard, but 20 letters, that can be turned into like words or, you know, even sentences, and it's a lot easier to remember. So congratulations, you've just learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. In principle. I mean, please keep on watching this video, but after, if you really do want to learn it, I've got a link in the video description that'll teach you how to. So the question is, how did I do today? So the day started with round 1 of 3x3 blindfolded. There were a total of 3 rounds, which is so great. And my personal goals were, well, to do better than I've done previously. And man, oh man, that happened today. The top 75% of solves from this first round will make it to the second one. I arrogantly thought, yeah, I definitely will make it. Because I've managed to solve it before. I did solve number 1 and completely failed. Like my brain just wasn't in the zone. I was so distracted. I'm pretty sure I did my second or third move incorrectly, and I knew that wasn't gonna work. No matter, I had 2 more. So did the second one. I felt sort of okay about it. Put the cube down, took the blindfold off, and I failed. I got a DNF, which stands for did not finish. Immediately my mood just like went straight down, because if I didn't succeed in the third one, I stood a very good chance of, like, that was it. I was out for 3x3 for the rest of the day. So took deep breaths, picked myself up, and decided that I was gonna play safe, like not rush through this third one, just like take my time and think really, really carefully about what I was memorizing. But I still didn't want to go too slow because I knew that around me there was some really, really fast people. And so even if I solved it, but didn't go as fast as them, I still wouldn't make it to round 2. So did my best, memorized it, hope for the best, opened my eyes, and it was solved. Whew, huge relief. So fingers crossed, checked the results, and sure enough, I'd made the top 75%. Whew, I will live to fight another day. Although that other day was just in a few hours for round 2. Next was 3x3 multi. So multi, it's as crazy as it sounds. You are solving multiple Rubik's Cubes blindfolded. As long as you're solving at least 2 cubes, you can solve up to like an infinite number of cubes, but you have only 1 hour to do it. I tried to be very ambitious and start with 8 cubes. My previous best score in a competition was I successfully solved 5 out of 6 cubes. However, because of the way that multi-blind is scored, it ends up being 4 points. Can you think of why? So if you got 5 out of 6, how it becomes 4 points? It's because you get 1 point for every cube that you correctly solved, and then for every cube that you incorrectly solve, you lose 1 point. It's negative. In my most recent comp, I attempted 5 cubes because I thought if I just get the 5, that's 5 points, but I only got 3 out of 5. 3. And so that ended up being 3 minus 2. I only got like 1 point, which is really sad. I actually had 2 rounds of multi-blind today, so I thought while my brain was fresh in the morning, let's just like be ambitious and give it a go. So you might remember I said from before, like 1 cube, roughly like 20 letters to memorize. So 8 cubes is like 160 letters to memorize. That's a lot. And if you're wondering how you do that, we use a method called Roman rooms, or the method of loci. There are different ways of saying it, but basically all memory athletes do this. So it's using like a sequence of rooms and placing the things you're trying to memorize, like objects or actions, in locations in along that sequence. So I just use my house. I like place the very first thing on my bedside table, the second thing on my pillow, the next thing on my wife's pillow, like in my mind, and then in the bathroom, and then in the laundry, and then in my kids' rooms. I literally just go through the house placing objects so that when I put the blindfold on and then I start solving, I just like go through my house in my mind and remember like what I've put where. It's amazing. It actually works really, really effectively. So yeah, gave it a go with 8 cubes. I thought I did fairly well. There was one that I was pretty sure that I messed up, but I thought, hey, even I've got 7 out of 8, that's still like, 6 points, which is pretty great. Took the blindfold off, and I only solved 4 cubes out of 8. So 4 correct, minus 4 unsolved, 0 points. So sad. At this point, as you can imagine, I was feeling quite discouraged. And yeah, partly actually even wanted to just like give up, just stop, just be like, whatever, what's the point of even like continuing to try? I thought, let's just keep pushing and see what happens. So next was round 2 of 3x3, which I'd fortunately just gotten into from round 1. So I thought, all right, instead of just going as fast as I can, how about if I go like slow and steady and be able to get like 3 out of 3 solves, which means that I might get a really nice average. I currently average 3 minutes 17, and I thought I might be able to do better than, actually not I might. I definitely, like at home, I can average better than 3:17. I'm like maybe mid 2 minutes. So did that first solve, felt really good. Took the blindfold off, and it was the DNF. Again, the mood is just going down at this point, so the next one I was like, let's just go really quick and just see what happens. It was really nice, the next one. I think there was already like 2 edges that were already solved. Like there weren't as many letters that I had to remember. And I finished with an amazing, like I think 1 minute 57 seconds, which is only the second time ever in a competition that I've managed to solve under 2 minutes, which is really good for me. No, it was 1:54, like that's pretty insane. So the final solve, again, just went as quick as I could, and I got 2:19. So the rules were only the top 8 would make into the finals, and I don't know, I didn't think on making into the top 8. But guess what? Your boy over here got 7th place. Woo! So I made finals round. There definitely was a huge like pick me up, and I was like, maybe I got this. Like maybe I'm better than I actually think I am. On reflection now, it's a little victories. Like here's a little quick life lesson from Ting Man. If things are just hard for you, things are like if you have a lot of good reasons to feel down, it's the little wins. Like look for the little wins, celebrate the little wins, the things that are going well, and focus on that. Yes, you do have bad things that you could think about. Focus on the good things right now. Like that might help you take that next step. Wisdom. Oh, I forgot to mention this before, but my daughter also took part 3x3 blind today. She tried it sort of for fun in a previous comp, but she didn't fully know how to do it then. This was the first one that she had really like practiced and trained. She gave it such a good go. Unfortunately, she didn't make it, but if you look closely, she actually did manage to solve quite a lot of the cube. She got all the edges done correctly, I think in the second solve, and then it sort of fell apart like with the corners and everything, but I'm so proud of her for giving it a good go, like the resilience that she showed, because it's quite disappointing taking the blindfold off and seeing this like unsolved thing. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick shout out to my daughter for how amazing she is. And now onto the thing I've been wanting to tell you about this whole time. Super excited. So we've only been talking 3x3s, but officially the World Cube Association also recognizes 4x4 and 5x5 as blindfolded event. For years, this has just been like way out of my league. 3 is already hard enough, but this comp was the best chance to give it a go. So I knew months in advance that this comp was coming, and I started like 10 days before. It's the instant gratification monkey, okay? If you know, you know. I'll have a link in the video description to where I got the tutorial from. Thank you, JPalm. But yeah, I started to learn 4x4 blindfolded a couple of weeks ago and realized this is a lot harder than I thought it would be. Maybe I shouldn't do it. We're going from like maybe 20 letters to, you know, close to 40 letters. Like, it's a pretty big jump. So the way that I practice 4x4 is that I would scramble it and then I would try, all right, let's do just the centers. And I was getting it maybe like 3/4 of the time, and then I will go edges and solve just the edges, and I was getting that only like half the time. The very first time that I attempted an entire 4x4 blind solve was only 3 days before the comp. It was at nighttime, and this was the result. It took me 19 minutes. I actually came super close. I see where I went wrong. It was only one move, so it was sort of encouraging because I was that close, but I tried again the following night, and that really didn't work, and I was honestly quite discouraged. So yesterday, literally just yesterday, the day before the comp, I was like, all right, this is it, come on, we just gotta give this a go. Gave it a shot, and I solved it. So for the first time yesterday, I solved the 4x4 blindfolded in pretty much 15 minutes flat. I was so happy with that. And I actually felt, all right, even if I don't do it in comp, this is great. Like, I'm very content with that. But then comp day came, and guess what happened? I did it, like, first go, I did it. I played very safe. I traced my steps like quite a few times, but yeah, I literally only got my first success yesterday on attempt 3, and then on attempt 4 today, I got it. So I was like, I've succeeded, that's it. There was no reason for me to hurt my brain and give it another go, but I decided to hurt my brain and give it another go. And so I did solve 2, you know, just for fun. And I felt a lot more relaxed for that one, so it went a lot more smoothly. And I think because of that, I ended up doing quite a bit better. So I succeeded again, guys. I got 16 minutes, 29 seconds for the second one. Felt so good, 16 minutes, like, yeah, super happy with that. And then all of a sudden the thought came, what if I do a third success? A third success for 4x4 blindfolded is a big deal because it means that you get an average, you get 3 solves and you can average it. This is a pretty big deal for cubers because in the World Cube Association, I think there's only like a few hundred people in the whole world who have got a mean for 4x4 blindfolded. But then at the same time, I was like, I only just learned this, like, as if like the odds of that isn't close to 0. It's never gonna happen. But what if? So I took lots of breaths. I was also trying to clear the rooms in my mind of like the items that were in them because yeah, I needed to use the rooms again. I actually used different rooms for my third solve. I was so nervous for that one. I was like, okay, I don't have to go fast. I just need to actually solve it. And so I retraced my steps so many times. I went through it over and over and over. And when I finished, I honestly did not feel good about it. And I remember telling myself really quick, like, it's okay, 2 solves is amazing. Took the blindfold off and like pure shock. I had only done 3 tries ever in my life before this. And these were my next 3 ever attempts of the 4x4 blindfolded. You are never too old to learn new things or try something amazing because you never know, it might actually work. Like, it actually worked. So yeah, your boy here is currently ranked 5th in Australia for 4-blind meat. I never ever thought I would like climb that high on anything because my fingers aren't that fast, and it didn't stop there. I think I must have just felt motivated by that because we went into round 2 of multi-blind. I decided to be less ambitious this time and just do 6 cubes instead of 8 because I figured I just need to get all 6. It means I had no room for error because remember, if I even just got 1 wrong, 5 out of 6 is 4 points, which is the same as the last time, and I needed to do better than 4 points. And even though it was later in the day and I had done so much memorization, I just felt psyched. I felt really good. So I gave it a really good go and I did a lot of revision. I also like traced for the first time. I picked up each cube when I was like revising and like made sure all my letters were correct. I found 1 error when I was doing it that way. My hands were shaking. I'm not sure if that shows on the camera, but I did the 6 cubes. At the end, I was like, you know, I gave it my best. Let's see what happens. I took my blindfold off and I did it. I got the 6 cubes. I broke my multi-blind record finally after so long. I can't even wipe the smile off my face. I got 6 out of 6. I'm so happy with that. And so armed with the amazing 4x4 successes, this multi-success, we went into our final event for the day, 3x3 blindfold. Finals. What was gonna happen? So my goal again was to get a mean. I wanted to get 3 solves that average under 3 minutes. But let's go efficient but play safe. Solve number 1, I played really safe. I went through my memorization several times and then suddenly realized, hang on, why am I going so slowly? I think I was still in like multi-blind mode. I was going like really carefully and like making concrete memorization. And I ended up getting like nearly 4 minutes, which is, that's ridiculous. So that wasn't great, but it's okay. I knew if I still did well for the next 2, I could bring my average down. So did the second solve, was really careful and super happy with it. I got 217. And so just those 2 solves alone meant that I was now averaging 3 minutes, like flat. So all I needed in this last third solve was to get under 3 minutes and I would have my sub 3 minute mean. So I did my best, went very carefully, and this is what happened. It didn't happen, guys. I really wish that I could have ended the story with the most triumphant, ultimate comeback of the century, but it didn't happen. And you know what? I'm actually okay with that. Partly because I had other successes to celebrate, but even though I was really disappointed, for some reason I could only think of one thing, which was, this means that my success is still ahead of me. There are better days to come. There is another fight that can be fought. There is another hill that I can climb and that I can conquer. It is eluding me. I don't know why. I mean, I got a 4 blind mean today. I can't even get this 3 blind mean. But if you don't succeed at something now, instead of thinking I'm a failure, I'm never gonna be able to do this, how about think my success is yet to come? We're gonna grab that thing and get it in the future. So stay tuned, guys. I've got more competitions coming up this year. We're gonna chase down that sub 3 minute 3 blind mean. And we'll get it. We'll get it by the end of 2021. We will get it, mark my words. So that was today. I actually wasn't planning to vlog this event because I really just wanted to be in the zone and get these solves done. But I wanted to share with you not just my successes, but like the lesson that I got out of this. Huge thank you, Daily Puzzles, again for providing me with all these cubes, making it possible for me to, you know, compete and do all these things. And before you click off, question for you, how has this video motivated you? Like, what are you gonna do now? How are you gonna change your thinking so that you don't see, you know, failures as just dead ends, but a moment that just says my success is yet to come? All right, I'm gonna watch these solves now. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you later. Bye. This guy stopped me from getting my 3 blind mean. Well, from getting a good 3 blind mean, but it means we live to fight another day, right?